guys. Good morning, I guess I could say now since it's almost 12:30. How y'all doing tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I am here live for my live review of the March 23rd, 2020 edition of Raw. As always, I hope you guys are continuing to stay safe and continue to stay healthy as well as we go through this tough time, I guess I keep saying, with the coronavirus. As this episode of Raw took place once again from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Now, here's the thing: I did not live tweet during Raw tonight. I put it on the background, but I had other things that I wanted to focus on. So that's why I was not able to live tweet during tonight's show. Of course, I don't really have too high expectations right now for Raw and SmackDown, unfortunately. But I will say tonight's episode of Raw was actually kind of watchable. I wouldn't say it was perfect. I kind of enjoyed it a little bit, I gotta say. There were some things, of course, I did not enjoy about this show that I will definitely talk about. We had some filler time in as well. And we had some weird matches announced today for WrestleMania 36. But I can't say that this show, I can tell I felt some effort was put into it. A little bit more effort than we've seen recently. So, there's stuff, again, I will talk about that I will give thumbs ups for, and stuff that I will say about as well. So, let's just get right into it, and let's just talk about Raw tonight, and let's get rolling. So, the show opened up with Paul Heyman doing some promo in a room. Talks about how all the men Brock Lesnar has beaten over the years, from Ric Flair to John Cena, and how no one has ever been so dominant for so long as he, even though Seth Rollins beat him twice last year. Let's put it that way. Turns out this is a video package because Drew McIntyre offers his agreement, but throws out the counterpoint that he thinks Brock has finally met his match. He's going to win at WrestleMania. Of course, since, Brock ate 3 Claymore kicks 2 weeks ago on Raw, which is a sick-looking segment, for sure. We then see Lesnar and Heyman in the ring together. All Paul Heyman basically says is Drew can get on his hands and knees, but God is only going to give him a busy signal right now, and other fun ways to tell him that he's got no chance against Brock Lesnar. Even though it's looking like he does, because Drew's been getting the upper hand on Brock quite a bit here lately. Since they came toe to toe in the Rumble and such, so not gonna say Paul Heyman's kind of got to not take things so lightly right now, especially with what Drew's doing to him. It's the Brock. He's getting the best of him. It looks like. So I would not say Paul Heyman should be slouching on Drew McIntyre. That's for sure. So, of course, they say, oh, we want to show one of Brock Lesnar's most dominating victories. We thinking which one is it going to be. And they actually showed the fill time, again, I hate when they do this because that's just not a good way. Just showing that, WWE doesn't know how to put on productive shows consistently, even though, what was going on right now is going on. Like last week, AEW didn't have any, filler time with showing previous matches. Not saying the matches they picked tonight were good, because the first one we got was the triple threat from the Royal Rumble in 2015. The only good match. The thing about that show, that triple threat with Brock, Cena, and Rollins, excellent triple threat match. Definitely a top 3 match of the year candidate for me, I will say, for 2015. But once again, they shouldn't be doing that. They want to show some highlights, sure, but to show the actual full matches to fill time, no, that's unacceptable in my opinion. So we got that. Also, we then get a recap of Rob Gronkowski appearing on SmackDown. How he is going to be the host for WrestleMania. Oh, by the way, if you didn't miss it, WrestleMania this year is the only show that is too big for one night, or whatever the slogan is. It said so many times tonight that I literally should have remembered it. That's a Vince slogan because that they oversay how many times. It's like the ultimate thrill ride, the only show that's too big for one night. You're gonna hear that how many more times over the next 12 days until WrestleMania happens, which again is a 2-night show this year. And again, they've added some more matches in there, and matches I'm why would you do this match? I mean, not saying that they're awful ideas, but it's just don't feel them for WrestleMania. Most of them, at least. Some of them, I'm like, why? But we got the hype of that appearance and how he's gonna be the special guest host. I do not care. It's dumb. I don't care about Gronk one bit. I'm sorry, I do not. And then also we got a video package of what happened, what's been going on with AJ Styles and The Undertaker. So then we have the OC come out. AJ Styles talks about how WrestleMania is bigger than ever and how he and Taker are going to have a match and he doesn't care what night it's on. But maybe the dead man cares because of when his wife will let him out of the house. He runs down, he starts making fun of Taker's pants last week, saying he was wearing maternity pants. You know this whole promo was scripted by Vince. Like, this is not AJ Styles speaking. I have never, ever, well, maybe this was on the level of, the Cammy crap he had when he was feuding with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at the beginning of 2018. And now we're getting him making fun of The Undertaker and his maternity pants. I'm like, what? It was just stupid. I was not funny. He was also theorizing that maybe he wears diapers and they call him the calls him Dog the Bounty Hunter. Talk about how Taker played a video of Taker and his wife, Michelle McCool, swimming with a tiger. He talks about how Taker's mystique has worn off and how, oh my goodness, Taker has social media right now. So, he doesn't want the Mark Calloway claims post selfies. He wants to Taker of the yesteryear. He doesn't know where he's to be found, but it's going to give us what he wants. Okay, yeah, speaking truth right there again, but once again, it's all true. Taker's like, 54, 55 years old. He's not gonna put on a match he could put on 10 years ago. Like, this whole shoot promos that AJ's talking about, it's like, yeah, it's all true. It's nothing new to us. We know Taker's not gonna pull a miracle out of his rear end and put on like a classic match. It's not gonna be anything that's special. I'm sorry, it's not. And him, this scripted stuff with him just making fun of Taker, calling him maternity pants and stuff with his wife. I hate it. It's so stupid. But then he's gonna give us what he wants. He claims he's gonna bring the dead man back in a match that's right in his wheelhouse. A boneyard match. What the heck is a boneyard match? He's got the perfect plot picked out for them. And ironically enough, it's the same one that Michelle McCool picked out when she buried The Undertaker's career. Like, what? Like, what is this? What's this boneyard match? It's supposed to be like some type of like a grave matching place, like a graveyard. Is another word for a buried alive match? Because we can't say buried alive, but I don't know. This already. I'm slowly getting more and more turned off by this view. I'm sorry. I mean, it was what it was at first. Now to me, it's just getting very cringe. The promos and everything, it's dumb. And this is not AJ Styles. I'm sorry, but I have not enjoyed this heel run AJ has had. Again, I get it, they're trying to put him in the club back together. I thought, okay, maybe he'll fuel him back up again, and they could be as dominant as they were back in 2016. But no. It's not the case. Literally, I feel like the club has brought AJ Styles back down with his title feuds. He's at least still putting on good stuff. Look at the build to him and Randy Orton last year. It was excellent, and there was no titles on the line. Yeah, he's turned heel, and it's just been all scripted crap. He's like being used to pretty much bury stars like Ricochet, Cedric Alexander. I would say he completely buried Alberto Carrillo, but he was given opportunities against these young stars. Like matches are supposed to feel in this caliber of like John Cena when he was U.S. champion, but to me they just don't, and I just feel like he's just been thrown in a tough position to basically just look like an idiot. Unfortunately, I hate to say that. I love AJ, but it's just like I've just not been feeling him lately, as of late, to be honest. But so that's we're having a boneyard match at WrestleMania. I'm not sure what it is. Then it was announced that we are going to be having a match for the Raw Tag Titles with the Street Profits taking on a team of Andrade Cien Almas and Angel Garza. Different, sounds fun, but like, how's this match come about? Like, how is Garza and Andrade just randomly picked for this match? So it leads to first a promo backstage where Garza and Almas will go on display tonight And soon Andrade will be decorated as a duo champion. The Street Profits can go hang out in the crowd all they want without their titles. Andrade says they don't want the smoke, they want the titles. Garza says they're both men, anything can happen, and then comes back also briefly to be a little, flirty with Charlie Caruso. Um, so then we have a match with Andrade Cien Almas and Angel Garza taking on a team of Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. When I first saw this match, I'm crossing my fingers, like, please don't let this be a squash. Please don't let it be a squash, because obviously, again, Vince doesn't care for Ricochet or Cedric Alexander, so why not put them in a tag and have them get squashed, right? No, actually, they put on a lengthy, solid match. I thought it was. They didn't make Cedric and Ricochet look like absolute jokes, I thought, in this match. Of course, Street Profits on commentary were freaking awesome, I gotta say. Andrade and Garza would win, but still, good effort by Cedric and Ricochet for sure. Afterwards, though, the Street Profits tried to come down to the ring with Almas and Garza brawled, and but the Street Profits sent them packing. And they then had a match next against, it was a quick squash match. This one was quick and squash, which was fine. They took on Shane Thorne from NXT and some guy named Brendan Vink. Never heard of him before. But they squashed, and pretty much the Street Profits win the match there. We also got a recap of R-Truth win the 24/7 title on some random street off of Riddick Moss this past week. Thank goodness, because, first off, who cares about Riddick Moss? And second off, why is there, since the 24/7 title came off of R-Truth, that, no one's going after it? Why not get rid of the Fisher-Price title at this point? But what do I know? We got that. We also got more hype for Rob Gronkowski getting hosted at WrestleMania, and I don't care. But then we had this interview. It's an interview with Shayna Baszler sitting in the ring with Charlie Caruso, who obviously Charlie was very intimidated by Shayna Baszler. Questions are asked of her, and she chooses to focus on how Charlie looks nervous. Shayna asks if she thinks she's going to bite and says Becky should expect to lose at WrestleMania. She tells Charlie to ask the question she really wants to ask. Why she only wants to destroy, and why she wants the title so bad. It's because she takes the title from Becky, it'll destroy Becky, and it's no more complacent than that. From the very beginning, she showed everyone who exactly she is. BAM! And again, keep in mind, it was dark, so you just see Shayna get attacked, and it was pretty obvious, but the lights come on, and Becky Lynch is attacking Shayna Baszler with a steel chair, obviously, getting her comeuppance on her for, the mind games that she's been playing on her as of late. But a couple of chair shots there. Nice little segment leading into our next match, which is Aleister Black taking on some jobber named Leon Ruff, squashing him with and then hit a black mass on him. So I'm playing a little bit of mind games beginning. Aleister Black also taking on Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. What? Why? I don't know. Okay, at least it's going to give Aleister a match on WrestleMania, but, why are we throwing in all these random matches all of a sudden now that it's too big for handle for one night, basically, as we're going to keep saying for WrestleMania. So, Bob, at this point, Lashley's not the worst opponent. It's not like we're having, Black and King Corbin, which, oh yeah, by the way, we're having King Corbin and Elias at WrestleMania. Woo. I'm not a fan of that one at all, either. But it is what it is. Aleister Black's going to get a shot at WrestleMania, probably get a victory. Bobby Lashley's a reasonable opponent, but again, what's happened with, the feud with him and Rusev, I guess it's just squandered off, and I don't care. But, Black's on the card, wish it was a better match, but, it's not the worst either, I gotta say. We got No Laura. Hello. Hey, it's been a long time. Again, I've been gone for a while, but I am back. Good to see you again. I remember you were watching a lot of my videos before I had briefly been taken off of YouTube, but again, it's good to be back. None of this screams Mania for Tyler Says. Yeah, honestly, with the appearance, it's the case. But I could say I give credit that some stuff tonight to me, I got. But which another thing I actually really enjoyed tonight was this segment with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens comes out. He calls out Seth Rollins, and Stained Glass Rollins himself appears. Seth says, "This arena actually looks pretty nice." But then he asks Owens, does he actually believe that fighting in this building gives him home field advantage? He doesn't understand it. He's right, though. He didn't train here, and Owens did. But does he even understand how he earned these things? He didn't train here because the Performance Center, didn't exist when he was signed. It was built on his tears and sweat and success. He got signed into just a dilapidated warehouse and told that nothing he did before WWE mattered. And that's a sacrifice that KO doesn't understand. He preserved, not for himself, but for people like Owens, so he can get an opportunity to train in a beautiful facility like this. He built the system from the ground up, and he's been trying to do the same for Raw, but people like Owens keep standing in his way. None of this exists without Seth Rollins. NXT doesn't exist. The Performance Center wouldn't exist. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Undisputed Era, takeovers, the Women's Revolution, none of those exist without Seth Rollins. And most importantly, without Seth Rollins, there would be no Kevin Owens. He asks Owens to let him finish and ask his second question. Why on earth did he pick WrestleMania to try and make an example of him? Does he know his Mania track record? IC champion, Universal champion. He's got more moments than he can count. And of course also mentions the biggest one of all, cashing in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 31. But how many moments has Owens had? Well, Rollins claims 0. But keep in mind, he did beat Chris Jericho for the US title back at WrestleMania 33. He put on a good ladder match at WrestleMania 32, didn't win it. He actually went in there into that match as Intercontinental Champion. 33 beat Jericho. 34, him and Sammy lost to Shane and Bryan in Bryan's return match. And last year, Owens unfortunately was not on the card, even though at one point rumors were he was one of the people considered to face Daniel Bryan for the WWE title before Kofi Mania got hot. Well, actually, before Kofi Mania got hot, and also before they were trying to also maybe give it to Mustafa Ali as well, because they wanted an Arabian to be champ going into Super Showdown in June. But basically, Rollins runs out his track record and claims Owens doesn't have any WrestleMania moments. His WrestleMania track record reads like failure after failure, and Owens can't beat him on his worst day, and WrestleMania is not Rollins' worst day, because under pressure, he becomes a god, and Owens doesn't stand a chance. You see, that's what I like about heels, about good heels, is that they can speak truth. And there was a lot of truth in that promo. Yes, Seth Rollins may not have been able to train at this Performance Center. And, Seth was not fortunate like Owens to come up, in like a great system like NXT and whatnot. But, Seth Rollins is right. None of this would happen if guys like him didn't succeed and, build this business from the bottom up. He's right. He's also right that, he has a strong WrestleMania. Again, of all the active superstars, I would still say, in my opinion, Seth Rollins has the strongest resume at WrestleMania. I mean, him and the Shield have won both their matches, even though they were what they were, but, they still won both their matches. At WrestleMania 31, again, he cashed in Money in the Bank and had a great match with Randy Orton. WrestleMania 32, unfortunately, he wasn't there because of injury. WrestleMania 33, he beat Triple H in a solid match. Could have been better, but it was just a little too long, but still a solid match. WrestleMania 34, he won Intercontinental Champion. And last year, he slayed the Beast and became the Beast Slayer, even though he had to hit a low blow on him, but, it still worked for what it was. But he's right. There's a ton of truth in there. And, yes, even though they have dragged this feud out way, way, way too long, I mean, they would shorten it. This promo, to me, it works. It works great. Tells the story. Seth Rollins doesn't look like a cowardly heel, whatnot, hiding behind, his disciples and whatnot all the time. I mean, sometimes he does, yes, but not all the time. And again, yes, this story has dragged on, but I gotta say, in this entire feud, this was probably the best segment in this entire feud, I gotta say. And, Rollins and Owens do have good chemistry. Um, I know their matches in 2016. They overdid them in 2016. Their Clash of Champions match was actually kind of disappointing. Their Hell in a Cell match I thought was pretty good. But I know like when Rollins was Intercontinental Champion 2 years ago, he put on a couple. I know a couple times him and Owens faced had a couple really good matches. I gotta say. So I really think they can put on a good match and maybe hopefully put over Owens, give him a big victory that he definitely needs right now. So I'll take it. I'll take the segment. I'll take the promo. I thought it worked out pretty good. Um, Let me see here. Did you see the Chris Benoit Dark Side of the Ring? I actually did not yet, but I heard it was pretty good. Tyler said he skipped the last hour of Raw. He did a WrestleMania 26 review. Nice. We also said Ali is not ready. Oh, he's definitely not ready. Well, he had a good showing, of course, in in that triple threat match at Fastlane last year, but they haven't really done much to them ever since, unfortunately. So I don't know, but I still do think he given the right time, he could definitely be world champion. That he last year was not the time for him, unfortunately, and I'm glad WWE did not try to move forward with their original plans with him, unfortunately. We also had a replay of Charlotte and Asuka from WrestleMania 34 to fill time. Charlotte was interviewed afterwards saying that how inspiring it was to end Asuka's undefeated streak and how excited Rhea Ripley must be, but she's a masterclass in making history, as Charlotte says. And then to end the show, we had Randy Orton appear to answer to Edge's WrestleMania challenge of a last man standing match. Orton says he's done and said things over the last few months that have been misunderstood. What he did said came from a place of love, but they've been taken as an act of brutality and violence. He's speaking directly to Edge, saying he's going to respond to his challenge, but first he has to get something off his chest. He apologizes for lying to Beth several weeks ago, when he said Edge was a junkie for the roar of the crowd. Nope, he's a junkie for his own ego. Adam Copeland, which he said Edge's real name, Adam Copeland, is a junkie for Edge. Last week, something he said did ring true. Orton has never had to pay his dues for his opportunities. He was handed an opportunity because of who he was and the last name that he had. But just because that happened, it doesn't mean he's guaranteed a Hall of Fame career, does it? They're showing different highlights. How he won the IC title his first year, became the youngest world champion. None of that was handed him, though. Foley didn't just pass him the torch. Foley put him into thumbtacks and made Orton take the torch from him. He's got one trait that Edge said he doesn't have, which is grit. But maybe they see grit differently. To him, grit doesn't mean sit on your couch for 9 years asking, what if? Grit means longevity, being the constant in the WWE locker room. He sits back there and he doesn't see anyone that's accomplished what he has, and nobody has as much grit as he does. You call him an entitled brat? Well, but isn't Edge the ultimate opportunist? Wouldn't he have done the same thing with the same opportunities? Would he have turned Triple H down when he offered a spot in Evolution? Everything Orton does is out of love for Edge. But now he wants a last man standing match? Edge, you may be writing a story, but at WrestleMania, Orton is going to write the last chapter and end it because he accepts. And the match is official. Edge and Orton in a last man standing match. It's going to be quite a brutal fight. Once again, just another great heel promo. Speaking truth, backing it up. Yes, again, we all know the story. Orton obviously, is the son of Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton. He's a third generation superstar. Yes, he got given an opportunity. Kind of handed to him. He didn't have to go through the hoops and stuff like a lot of other superstars had to do. But once again, it's true. Orton's a Hall of Famer. Orton didn't just get handed everything to him. Orton's no Baron Corbin. He's talented. Orton knows how to be a great heel. And at times he has good runs as a babyface, but I still think he has more mileage in him as a heel. But he thinks what he's doing for Edge is to help him. And yes, maybe Edge coming back to wrestle in the ring is risky, but still, it's what he wants to do, and his family and people who love him do support him for doing that. And obviously, Orton tried to take that away, and why wouldn't Edge want to, go after him and Orton even attacked Edge's wife. So, and he said he thinks he knows better than her how to take care of her husband. But obviously this is just war, and it's gonna be a pretty good match at Mania, and I cannot wait. Yes, I know Mania is not gonna feel too great this year because of it being 2 nights. Again, it's too big for one night, as they keep saying how many times. Once again, I'm pretty sure that's a Vince McMahon tagline. Oh, too big for one night. That's a great line. We're going to say it how many times, because it's going to annoy us. Because once again, we have to hear all of Vince's ideas how many times, because it was his idea. But yep, just another great segment, and that's how it went off the air for Raw. Again, okay, I didn't like the replays. Again, I don't like how they do that to fill time. I did not like the segment with AJ talking about Taker and his paternity pants and what maternity pants. That's just so stupid. The stuff for the tag match was decent. Stuff with Black was was what it was. The segment with Becky and Shayna was great. I liked the Rollins promo and the Orton promo. So I'll be a little lenient and give this show a B minus, like an 80%. I thought that, again, there was stuff in this show I can say I enjoyed. It was at least somewhat watchable. Wouldn't say it was completely watchable, but it was somewhat watchable, I will say. So I'll give it the credit. So a B minus for Raw this week. Let's check the live chat before we go off the air. It should be a buried alive match between AJ and Taker. Yeah, definitely. Not this boneyard brawl or heck we're talking about. Instead of Charlotte versus Becky, how about Asuka versus Charlotte WrestleMania 36? It could work. If you want to get Asuka to avenge her loss, but I'm completely on board with Charlotte and Rhea though. We all want this stupid virus to go on for sure. And yes, thank goodness Archer is 24/7 champion. Aleister Black and Randy Orton, yes, that needs to happen. I want that feud so bad. Like the Viper and Black, like the mind games they could play with each other, I think would be freaking awesome. I want to see that feud sometime this year. It should be one night, not 2 nights. Yeah, I agree. I don't get why. Because just to help us, enjoy more wrestling. No, we could. If that's the case, we could have done Takeover then also. But why? Because we don't want to risk losing any more ticket sales and whatnot. So I don't know. Again, everything's just so up in the air, guys. Now, even they just announced here today that they have that stay-at-home policy unless it's like like an emergency, when I can get. The only times I go out right now is to maybe go for a walk in my neighborhood, go to the store to get some things that need be, and to one of my family members' house because we're currently taking care of him because of an illness. So that's the only time I get to go out anymore. So yeah, it looks like let me see. Will you be reviewing the Chris Benoit Dark Side of the Ring episode? Not sure. Again, if I do get to watch it, maybe I'll give my thoughts on it. We'll see. But that's a good suggestion for sure. And the 24/7 title is going to be funny again. Maybe we'll see again because since Mojo took it, they completely ignored the 24/7 rules completely, and I thought it was so dumb. So whatever. I enjoyed the show somewhat, not completely, but somewhat thought it was good. But again, I was just putting it on in the background. But that's all I gotta say about this show, guys. Put your thoughts on Raw. Please make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBody3. I'm still on my mission right now is still to catch up on the pay-per-views. I've had another project I've been working on the past couple days, and I was distracted by it, so I'm going to try to do my Clash of Champions review. Probably sometime tomorrow, I would say, to continue to catch up. And of course, Clash of Champions wasn't really that great of a show to begin with last year, but I'll give you my thoughts when we get there. So until then, guys, I am checking out. Have a great rest of your night. Please, and also, let me see here. Please, let Rhea win. Oh yeah, definitely. Rhea better win at WrestleMania. But yeah, guys, I am checking out. I will see you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys probably in my Clash of Champions review, which will probably be next. So until then, guys, have a great night. Peace out, everybody.